Hot takes are everywhere, but they're often uninformed, and major news is biased. We've had enough of hot takes. We want informed takes. Join Kevin Briggins and Devin Smith as they have rational conversations about domestic politics, geopolitics, and military affairs. Things will get interesting as they bring in expert guests, even from across the aisle. Grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and hop into the chat. It's time for Informed Takes.
Yo, welcome back to Informed Takes. I am Kevin Briggins. He is Devin Smith, and we are glad to be with you all once again. Man, brother, how you been?
Been good, man. Wait a minute, dude. Is that a new camera? What is happening right now? Oh my goodness.
It's crispy.
It's real crispy. Oh my goodness. What you
upgraded,
working with?
I upgraded to the 4K, instead of the 1080p. It's a difference.
Man, we seeing Kevin 4K. Man, look at the colors balanced, man. This is looking good, man.
Look at that. Look at the beard. Look at the beard.
You see the individual hairs, man.
Yeah.
Matt Pruitt in the building. What's up, Matt Pruitt? Look at Kev's 4K beard. It looks good, man.
Oh man,
It looks good.
I've enjoyed this camera. I've had to do some other things. I recorded another podcast earlier today. Did some meetings, and each time, I'm like, man, this camera is really good, really good. So
yeah.
The squirrels. I guess the squirrel. We'll see how the squirrels do. I mean, they might be motivated.
Tammy said, can his internet handle that 4K, man? Them squirrels, man.
They might just be more motivated with the 4K. Also, our plan is not to work them as hard tonight.
That's right. We're not working the squirrels or the hamsters too hard tonight. We gotta have a short show because I gotta be up early in the morning. I gotta be up at like 5 in the morning. I got to go. So y'all, I've been having this problem where random ribs just get partially dislocated in my rib cage, and it's not fun. And they're gonna crack it back in place about 6:45 in the morning. So, yeah,
yeah. I like the way you put that. You didn't want to paint Clarissa in a bad light, but. Just know that 50% of, abused partners of men. So it's okay, man. It's okay. You don't have
I get the blink signal.
Like I said earlier, man, just don't make her tell you twice,
That's what she said. She said if I got to say it again, I'm gonna say it with my fists, Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, how you doing, man?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. I would say Clarissa wouldn't hurt her soul. She's gentle spirit.
See, she got everybody. She got everybody thinking that, man. People don't know behind closed doors, man. She's a savage, man. The wit is sharper than a two-edged sword. I'll say something.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
And that's exactly what she says. Nobody's gonna believe you. That's right, Matt. I spoke out of line. I caught a two-piece, and I know better now. Okay, I know better.
Yeah. But no. So we're gonna do a truncated show instead of two major topics. We just got one tonight. But we still got the good stuff. We still got what the X. We still got guess the charge. We're just going to take a little less time on the main topics than we normally do. So
man, guess the charge, man. One of them photos, I'm gonna see that in my sleep, man. That's nightmare fuel, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh yes. So I see things during the week, and I have a folder that I save it to. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I'm saving this one." Yeah.
That would, I was like, bro, like, what do you be looking at, man?
I don't know, man. The algorithms just they know what I like.
They got you
You know?
dialed in. They got you dialed in.
He's like, oh, he like the
man.
crazy mug shots. Let's feed him this one. You know?
That's right. That's right. Man.
But yeah, but if everybody saw the thumbnail, you know, they saw that we were gonna talk about these two different halftime shows.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about some bad bunnies and not the ones running my internet.
Let's talk about Oh, there's a bunny.
This was the Super Bowl halftime show. And this was Turning Point USA's All-American halftime show.
I just wanna catch my fish.
So how did they compare? Well, the Super Bowl was headlined by Bad Bunny, one of the world's most streamed artists and recent Grammy winner.
Thank you, God.
Meanwhile, the All-American halftime show was headlined by Kid Rock, wearing a fur coat and jorts.
My name is Kid.
Bad Bunny brought out guests like Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. While all the Republicans who were unsure about who Bad Bunny was
I used to have a Bad Bunny. His name was Flop.
were treated to a performance by none other than Brantley Gilbert. You know Brantley? It's expected the real halftime show had at least 100 million viewers globally, while the All-American halftime show had around about 6.2 million concurrent viewers on YouTube. And of course, the one thing the Super Bowl didn't do was have a tribute to Charlie Kirk.
This one's for you, Charlie.
And credit where credit's due, Turning Point USA knows how to do a light show. Oh yeah, and the Seahawks or someone won, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a controversy. That was a cultural clash with the Super Bowl. And for those who don't know, and we just saw the video, Bad Bunny, if you don't know who that is, you're not alone. Did the actual halftime show. And then as soon as it was announced shortly after, Turning Point announced they were going to do a counter Super Bowl show. Because this was more than just the choosing of an artist. I believe this was making a cultural and political statement, and we will get into that in something I wrote. But with that said, me and my family, we did watch my kids, they're not into sports for real, but it was an event. We had Super Bowl food, and they say, "Dad, what's Super Bowl food?" I'm like, "Oh man, it's just game day food." So we had the meatballs, we had the sliders, we had the rotel, we had and so we just made a fun event out of it, which kind of got them into it. But the halftime show, Dad went to YouTube, and we put on the Turning Point USA halftime show. And it wasn't just out of protest. It was just out of, why am I going to watch somebody sing in Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. I don't know who this person is. I don't know a single song, and I don't know what they're saying. I'm not going to watch this, And so, yeah, I went over to the Turning Point USA halftime show to see what theirs was about. And it was good. It wasn't memorable, I'm not gonna write home about it, but it was a good show. I didn't catch it at the moment, but reading some of the reviews of it, it was they used it to paint a redemption arc for Kid Rock. And so he started out with one of his old songs, one of his, we would call vulgar songs. He played like a little snippet of it. He did like a little set. That's what you saw with the fur coat and the shorts on. And then he went away, and then they played the violin set that you saw. And then they reintroduced Kid Rock, but not as Kid. They introduced him as his real name, and it was a totally different feel to it. And he basically did a very mellow song, and then he basically made a pitch for Jesus and for people to turn. And so basically what they did was they painted an arc from who he was as Kid Rock to who he really is now in Christ. And that was kind of how they painted their halftime show. And I thought that was a good arc. Because I'll be honest, when they introduced the last artist, I was like, I don't know who that is. And he had a hat on. I didn't really recognize it was him. But reading the reviews and people say, oh, this is what they did. I was like, that makes total sense. Now I had no idea who that person was at the end, and it was him. And so that was what Turning Point USA decided to do with their show. It was good. Like the guy said in the video, they know how to put on a show. It didn't spare any expense, but it wasn't a halftime show. Like, there's just something different you can do with a football field and the number of people you can have involved and just the scenery. And we're going to look at a video of a review of Bad Bunny's performance. And I thought it was very visually stunning and choreographed. I have a friend who is Dominican, and she basically said that he represented their culture. And she was all about it. She was not a fan of my cultural critique because she was very proud of it because it represented her culture. And so yeah, that's like a general overview of what happened on Super Bowl Sunday with these two competing halftime shows. So, Devin, I'm sure you watched the Bad Bunny one because you're a huge Bad Bunny fan.
Just huge Bad Bunny fan, man. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait, man. I was like, finally, man, it's our time, you know.
So you back to your Trinidadian roots. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
you know. Bruh, so I'll be honest, like, I can't remember what was going on that day. I actually didn't even get to tune into the game until after halftime. And so, like, you know, I'm cooking dinner for the family, and I was like, man, we're actually in a place where I can turn this thing on now. And so I turned it on. So I missed both halftime shows. But, man, my Facebook feed was going nuts. I mean, everybody had something to say about the whole thing. And, you know, leading up to it, everybody had something to say, of course. I actually, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like TPUSA made the lead up to the event when they announced it. I feel like they made it feel a little bit petty. They made it feel a little bit petty.
Oh, it was definitely meant to be petty because, like I said, and we're going to get into the cultural analysis of it, the choosing of Bad Bunny was something very intentional. And when they announced Bad Bunny, everyone had the same reaction. Who is that?
Right. Even the players on the teams didn't know who Bad Bunny was. They didn't even know who Bad Bunny was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I guess let me comment on that first. What the heck were they doing? You know what I'm saying?
Two different things. I went the cultural analysis route because that's the world I operate in. And I think that was a big part. I do. But at the same time, if the NFL is trying to expand their viewership to South America, then that choice makes sense. But I will say that choice was not for their American audience. It just wasn't.
Yeah, and I feel like read the room, man. Know the cultural moment that you're in. This is the same thing as I will say this is very similar to Cracker Barrel not recognizing the cultural moment that they're in.
Yeah,
they did that rebrand and they did not understand where America is and what like the general American public is feeling, the direction that it's going. And so but I will say, actually, let me back that up. I think they know, and I think you're right. I think it was an intentional statement. And so I understand. So they were petty. TPUSA did their thing in response. Here's the issue that I have. Is that Charlie, when he was killed, people had an opportunity, even if they didn't like him, to learn about what kind of man he really was, because a lot of people didn't know who he was, right? And they started to learn after he was killed, and a lot of people actually are like, yo, like this, like why'd they kill this dude? Like this dude was up here, like he was being respectful to people. He was, and yeah, he got a little spicy on his podcast from time to time, but it wasn't nothing to get shot over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, yo, like y'all are wrong. Like this dude didn't deserve to get shot. Like he doesn't deserve all this hate. Like what's wrong with you? And there was this kind of moment. All of a sudden, a lot of people going back to church, all this stuff, right? And so I think that, especially with all the stuff that's recently been happening, all of the stuff with ICE, everybody kind of getting their panties in a wad about ICE, which obviously that's, a large degree of that is manufactured. They want people to be outraged for false reasons. It's all anti-American sentiment, basically. But what I was hoping for from TPUSA was something that's like, I don't have a problem with them saying, hey, we're going to do an alternative halftime show. I don't have a problem with that. What I wish that they had done was not make it feel as petty. Like, I think we have an opportunity, especially as Christian conservatives now. We have the opportunity to be the bigger people. And I think that's what people desperately want now, is that, they see how divided America is, and they're desperate for somebody to stand up and be the adult in the room. And I think that their framing of it could have been better. And it wouldn't have immediately ignited culture war. The way they announced it, it was like, it was dropping, it was the glove slap. The way they announced it was the immediate glove slap. And I was like, y'all didn't have to do it like that, though. Y'all could have made this a lot more effective if you didn't do it that way, That's my 2 cents.
But it was the culture war, but it was highly successful from a rating standpoint.
Sure. Yeah.
Because in the video he said 6 million, but that was just on the TPUSA stream. The Charlie Kirk stream had an additional million, and then when I went and checked it on X, it had 3.5 million. Right, wow. So it had about over 10 million streams. Yeah, when it happened, and so that's a win. They basically took a chunk of the NFL's viewership for their own. Yeah. And so I mean, it was a win-win for both. The NFL didn't care, and TPUSA got a chance to kind of go off the backs of. Because they had announced, like someone said in the group, Metallica, there was no opportunity for TPUSA to do a counter or additional. No. You know what I'm saying? They were only able to do this because of the pettiness, because of them choosing Bad Bunny. Right. That gave TPUSA a window to capitalize on.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, you're right. And that was, and it was, I do agree with you. I do think that it was a woke statement. It was a woke statement. It was trying to, this sort of commentary, especially with everything, going on with deportation of illegal immigrants and all that stuff. Like, you can't tell me that wasn't a part of the message, especially this man singing in Spanish.
Yeah, and then Bad Bunny's message. And that's the part gets me too. Like, okay, you bring in some star we don't know. Okay, maybe his music is good. I don't know. But the dude don't do English. His music is all Spanish. Right. Guess what? I don't care how many people here that speak Spanish. We're not a Spanish-speaking nation. We're just
Thank you. We're not. And I listen, okay, so I know that somebody will make the argument, okay? They'll make the argument. It's like, oh, well, we have a large portion of America that speaks. Right. I don't think it is. Large. I don't think it is. And look.
Someone said 20%.
Nah. Ain't no way.
And even if it's 20%, I would say because you got to think, I think Hispanics make up 15 to 17% of America, something like that.
But
And if
can
you
they
take-
all speak Spanish, though? A lot of them who are born here can't even speak Spanish. Uh-oh. That 4K got him. Them hamsters, man, they can only work so hard, man. Them hamsters. Oh, man. You know what it is. Oh, no. Oh, no. We lost him, man. We lost him. That 4K killed him, man. The 4K killed the hamsters, man. Oh, we got him back. He's back. Man. Oh, now we can't even hear you, man. Hold on a sec. Wait a minute now. In guest room. What is happening? Publish. There we go. All right. Now we can
There we
hear
go.
you. Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Man.
no, it kicked me out. It kicked me out of Ecamm.
Man.
So
Man.
yeah,
What's going on? Ecamm? What is happening right now, Ecamm?
I don't know.
Yeah. 'Cause you said you don't really have problems when you go on other people's
No,
stuff, man.
that's what I'm thinking. It's an Ecamm issue.
Man, that's rough, man. That's rough.
Yeah.
You were saying, so I was saying right before you froze up. I mean, dude, like so many of the Hispanic kids born in the United States cannot speak Spanish. Like, so I have a hard time believing that like 20% of the U.S. speak Spanish. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. This is Informed Takes. Happy to be corrected. It just seems like a very high number. And I think we lost him again. It's rough out here in these YouTube streets. This 4K is absolutely killing these squirrels, man. 4K is killing squirrels. The hamsters, the squirrels, all of them. They're all dead. So while we're waiting for Kev to come back, I will say that yeah, it was just it really did feel like they were trying to I don't know, almost in a way rebuke America for swapping for going more in a right-leaning direction, going more in a direction, you know, like obviously Trump won in a very decisive victory. You know, the whole campaign to deport illegal immigrants, obviously they felt, you know, they felt like a message needed to be sent. And it kind of sucks, right? Because we're talking about the NFL. Like there's not supposed to be anything more. I mean, okay, I should say. I mean, I was going to say that, you know, it's not supposed to be anything more American than football, right? There's not supposed to be anything more American than football, but I mean, maybe baseball. Baseball, okay, like baseball is supposed to be America's pastime. I have a hard time watching baseball, but it's just like, you know, the NFL decided to do that. The NFL decided they were going to send a message to America using Bad Bunny and having him sing in Spanish. It just, you know, I don't know what they thought they were doing. It probably just made people double down. I don't think they won any friends by choosing to do that. Oh man, we got Kev. We got Kev back. Get my man back in here. There he is.
All right. Yeah, I switched to the phone.
Oh man.
Because it, like I said, it kicked me out of Restream again. I was like, I don't know what's going on, so let me just switch this up. Take the glasses off so I don't have the lights, the ring light reflection. Yeah. So yeah. So like I say, like you were just saying, American football is only in America. Like,
yeah,
this isn't played around the world. This isn't an American thing. The Super Bowl is a cultural, American cultural icon. The halftime show is iconic, and it's always a big deal of who gets to do it. and then you go and choose someone who the vast majority of Americans don't know. I don't care how many Spanish-speaking people in America there are. I don't care how many Spanish-speaking people in America know who he is. The broader American public, pop culture, does not know who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Bad Bunny could walk down the street and go in a restaurant or be in the airport and no one would know who he was.
Nobody would know.
Until
Nobody
before now. Before now.
Right.
Because the minute they announced it, everybody Googled, like, who is this? And then when I realized who it was, like, oh, okay, I know who this is because I seen him. I remember he was in Bullet Train. I'm like, oh, the dude from Bullet Train is a singer now. Okay, cool. But why he doing the halftime show?
because they felt the need to give America a spanking for not liking illegal immigrants. At least that's the way it comes off to me.
Yeah, and then his messaging, while it comes across as unifying, like most Marxists, it's not.
Right.
It's not. Because when they say we are all something, right, it is this sense of equity, I guess you can say. Mm-hmm. You know, everything is equal. And we're gonna play a video where the guy breaks down the imagery and stuff in Bad Bunny's, you know, performance and his messaging that we're all America. What does it mean by we are all America? It's not the unifying message that people think it is. And so, so if you pull up my article and you're going to have to, well, just pull up the article first. There's some different things embedded in the article that we can look at as we go through. But I just want to, I'll set up what the article is while you pulling it up. So I made a Facebook post. Oh yeah, by switching to my phone, I threw you all off.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. So I made a Facebook post, which you see on the screen here, giving my cultural analysis of the Bad Bunny selection. And this was just kind of a thought, a post I made on my phone and just put it out there, not really thinking the repercussions or how I'm trying to, start a fire or anything. I just gave my analysis. Man, it started a firestorm. That post has over 100 comments on it on Facebook.
It caught fire. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I decided to use Substack the next morning to just write a more in-depth explanation of, okay, what do I mean when I talk about, Bad Bunny kind of representing like an anti-whiteness stance? Like the selection of him is an intentional, shot political cultural statement against the cultural norm. I don't even want to say whiteness, against the cultural norm, right? Because how else? And in the article, I'm going to break down what I mean by centering certain voices and certain things and decentering certain things, right? That's the whole leftist ideology, is we have to center marginalized voices and marginalized things, and we have to decenter the things of privilege, right? So the things of privilege in America is whiteness, or what we would call American culture, and so, they made a statement to center something. And I'm gonna be honest, one of the reasons that helped me make this determination was his whole statement of we are America. And what that really means.
Yeah.
And so, so let's just go through the article and we can, I'm gonna need your help because I can't see it.
Oh yeah. So the next thing that you kind of touch on was this old graphic that the African American
Museum. Yeah. Yeah,
think
because
they
I
eventually
wanted people
took
to,
it down or whatever. But
oh, they
like,
did.
I
Yes.
remember when this came out, I was like, dude, are you serious? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I wanted people to understand when I say whiteness, what am I talking about? I'm defining whiteness the way they define whiteness. And it's rugged individualism. It is, the scientific method, is linear objective thinking, is logic, reason, it's Christianity, it's Protestantism, it is the traditional family. It's all of these things that the left view as whiteness. Like, so to just kind of help you to understand, they view everything as a social construct, right? And so this is one social construct, but it's no better or more valid than the way Native Americans might have done things, right? Or the way Ghana does things, or the way Venezuela does things. There is no better or right or wrong. It's all just humanity, right? And so all these different social constructs in their mind should all be viewed the same. There's none better, there's none worse. Multiculturalism, right?
Right.
All cultures come together and have equal worth and dignity and all of those types of things. But we know that's not true. We know all cultures are not equal.
Nope.
All cultures do not produce the same results, have the same fundamental worldview or foundation behind them.
Right.
We would not say a culture that values and respect women is equal to a culture that mutilates and cuts women's private parts off, right? We wouldn't say these are equal cultures. But the left tries to view things from that lens, because to view American culture, or what they would call whiteness, as a better way of living, as a better culture with better principles and values, would be white supremacy, right? You're saying that white people or whiteness is superior to others. And it's saying, we're just evaluating culture. And
Right.
that's it.
If I may, real quick.
Go ahead.
One of the most important things is that because the left does not make a distinction between saying that all humans are created equal. They don't make a distinction between that and saying that all people are created equal. And we absolutely believe that all people are created equal, but not necessarily all cultures. And we don't view cultures necessarily as being they are not the cultures do not have an equivalent. They're not equal to the Imago Dei, and the left views different cultures the way that we view the God, man bearing the image of God. And so you can't, to them, to say that another culture is in any area, in any aspect inferior, is to say that the people are inferior. And that is a mix up of categories. We are talking about different categories. So like that's one of the things that they'll get really, if you say that all cultures are not created equal, to them, they will take that as you saying that, oh, what you're saying is that anything that comes from like basically white people are better than everybody else. And that's not what we're saying. We're saying that not all cultures have the same qualities, have the same values, have this are as good as other cultures. I'm sorry, cannibalism is you will never ever convince me that cannibalism is morally as good as Christian Protestant culture. I'm sorry, you just won't.
We'll just call it non-cannibalism culture.
Thank you.
Whatever
Right.
it is. Right.
Right. Non-cannibalism culture. We're not
Any
allowed-
culture that doesn't eat people is better than cannibalism culture.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're setting the bar pretty low here. Setting the bar pretty
Yeah.
low. But that is what you wind up. That's what you wind up dealing with. So I just want to point that out. That like generally,
that's a
you're
good
talking
point.
to somebody on the right, they are going to make they're going to make the distinction between categories there, and somebody on the left is not.
Yeah, 100%. And so I wanted to establish what is this whiteness that needs to be torn down, that they say needs to be torn down. And so I used this infographic because I like to use their own words and representations. This is what they believe whiteness is. And so I asked the question, do you believe this is morally wrong, bad, and needs to be torn down? Because they do.
Hold on.
But yeah, so let's keep.
Hold on one sec. Krista said, "Is a good internet connection also whiteness?"
Yes, Krista. Yes, it is.
Bro, I'm dying over here. Man. I can't even breathe over here. I cannot breathe. Krista, you
need to.
me.
She needs to.
She need to check her privilege.
Yes, she needs to give up her privilege. Yes.
I am dead, man. That you in the comments, Krista. You in the comments.
She better be glad I can't see the comments.
I knew you couldn't see that. I brought it up on the screen and I could barely contain myself. I had to cover my mouth. I was losing it.
But seriously, on the internet thing, I do think it's an eCam thing. We gotta get this thing figured out, man.
Yeah,
we gotta get it figured out.
Hurts my soul.
It don't like me.
We love our graphics, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Continue, man. Sorry, I had to bring
no.
up
So
this.
let's keep scrolling because I want to get through this.
Yeah. So you want to touch on anything else on this this graphic, or we want to move on to the next thing here?
No, move past the graphic.
Goodness.
Yeah.
And so
Bad Bunny. So I was making the point in the article about the whole point is to tear down norms, tear down cultural norms, and that's what Bad Bunny believes in his dress, right? He believes. It's like the whole deal between, can a man be a woman? What is a woman? All this type of stuff, right? They believe all of this stuff is a social construct.
Right.
Including this idea that only women wear dresses or should wear dresses. So he is trying to use his influence to break the cultural norm. If enough men or enough young people see Bad Bunny wearing dresses, they won't associate just dresses with just women. And like, yes, men can wear dresses. Right? That is what they're doing. They're trying to destroy social norms by proving that is all just a social construct, right? That doesn't mean anything. And so, and so he's a part of that. This is what he does. And they chose him to do the Super Bowl show knowing that he is counter-cultural.
Yeah. The whole gender bending thing, like he's basically he's a clapback to what can be viewed as sort of like a return to common sense, like the re-election of Donald Trump, the anti-illegal immigration push, like the anti-trans push, like basically people saying like, yo, we're tired of this junk, like we're like y'all we're done having polite fiction, we done pretending that y'all can they them us into utopia. We done with that. This is definitely a clapback to that.
Yeah, and he's a huge LGBTQ activist or ally.
Yeah.
Huge. And so I'm gonna be honest, I believe a lot of this is the reason he's as big as he is. Not because he's a great artist, not saying that he's not, but we know certain people get pushed up and others get censored. I believe he's pushed up because he's willing to carry the message of the far left progressive, overlords.
Which is crazy, right? That's crazy because look at where America is. Where America is clearly signaling like, yo, this is what time it is. We ain't about that life. We ain't about that stuff. But look at what they're pushing. Look at the clap. Like, you're clapping back at America. America gave you a clear message. And you're pushing this dude. Like, this dude, nobody knows who this dude is.
Hold on. America gave them a clear message, and what did they do in New York? They doubled down. They went harder.
Yeah, they did.
They said, we're going to push Mamdani.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't really care. They're not trying to win elections. They're pushing their religion, if that makes sense.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's keep scrolling. I think the next part, I had a couple of quotes from him about how he dresses. And then I said, okay, if you're still, yeah. And so I said, if you're still confused, I then broke down what I call the wheel of power and privilege to get people to understand that the groups, this wheel here depicts leftist ideology, and power is in the center, and the groups that are closer to the center are the groups that are closer to power. The groups further away are the groups that are marginalized or oppressed. So close to power, you're an oppressor. Away from power, you're oppressed. And the example I used from this chart was look at citizenship, right? So citizens are privileged. They are close to power because they're citizens. Further from that is documented immigrants, visa holders and green card holders. And then on the margins, the marginalized is what they call undocumented, which we know is also called illegal immigrants, right? And so if this is your worldview, and to be a good person means you must always stand with the marginalized, you must always stand with the oppressed, now you know why they take the positions they take, why the illegal immigrant must be fought for, why you must go out in the street for, because they're the marginalized, right? And so it doesn't matter the context. It doesn't matter the facts. It doesn't matter the law. It doesn't matter any of that. The only thing that matters is who's marginalized, who's the oppressed, and who's the oppressor, who has power. And whoever doesn't have power is the side you have to take, right?
Yeah.
And so if you understand this wheel, you understand leftist ideology. And so with language, right? Language, English speakers are the privileged. Who is unprivileged? Those who don't speak English. Those are the marginalized. So we have to lift these marginalized voices. We have to tear down this culture of power, of white supremacy, and we must uplift the marginalized areas, right? And so sexuality, heterosexuality is power. That's the normative, right? Who's further away from power? It is lesbians, bisexual, like queers, all of that stuff. And so you now have to uplift those people. That's why you have so many of them overly represented in art and music and TV and all these things, because they're intentionally trying to what we would call center these groups.
Right. That's
and
right.
you decenter the groups that are privileged.
And that's their language. That when they talk about centering, that's their language. We didn't make that
and we're
up.
gonna watch a video. Yeah, in the Bad Bunny video, the guy talks about that. And he says it in a positive way. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, exactly. And the thing is, I had already written my article before I saw the Bad Bunny breakdown. And then I went back and added into it before it was published. Because I'm like, yes, he said it. I'm glad he said it. It fits perfectly with what I've written. I'm adding it in. What did Crystal say?
She said, this wheel is the secret decoder ring to the culture.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. If you understand this ring, you understand leftist ideology. You understand how you get trans for Palestine, right? This is how you get it.
Yeah.
You must always be with the marginalized group. So who had in the Israel-Gaza conflict, who has power? Who's closer to power? Israel.
Right.
Who's the marginalized, oppressed people? The Palestinians. Therefore,
even though they committed heinous acts, it doesn't matter because
it doesn't matter.
Marginalized like that. Like their marginalization basically cleanses their murderous acts, and it's been insane to watch normal, like what you would think is normal people who would never condone this behavior in the United States, basically try to justify what the Palestinians did because they are quote unquote marginalized. Insane.
Once you buy into this, any act of violence towards an oppressor group is an act of liberation.
Right.
It is a justified act. So you justify violence. And we can take it to the Charlie Kirk assassination. He was viewed as an oppressor. So the act of violence against him was justified. It was liberation for the trans community. It was liberation for, marginalized communities because he was an oppressor.
Right.
And so you morally justify violent actions by viewing this lens of oppressors and oppressed. And anything the oppressed do is a legitimate act of liberation from the oppressor.
And just to add another instance as an example, Luigi Mangione killing the CEO of UHC, same thing.
Yes, same thing.
And I would argue that he created the environment for Charlie Kirk to be assassinated. He created it.
Absolutely. Not only was he, celebrated, but he was almost, he's made a legend. He was worshipped. He was a hero.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these groups view the Charlie Kirk shooter the same way.
Right.
Yeah. And so I just want people to understand that this is the ideology. You have to decenter power and privilege, and you have to center marginalized groups, right? So we're tearing down whiteness. Whiteness is bad. It is the group that is in power. It is the dominant culture that must be torn down. And it's not a reflection of if it's good or bad. It's a reflection of power and privilege. Power and privilege must be torn down. Marginalization and oppression must be lifted up. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
So
that's right.
Yeah. And this is just examples I was giving of oppressor oppressed categories and who fits what category and everything. Okay, so now we're at the video where the guy basically breaks down the Bad Bunny performance from his perspective in a positive light.
This in no
All right. Let me make this bigger here so people can see.
way meant patriotism and love of America as a country. Actually, let's play a game. I'm gonna tell you all the real symbolic cultural moments as a Boricua, including what this one was about, and I want you to tell me in the comments how many you got right. Now let's begin where it all started. We see the Jibaro, the traditional Puerto Rican countryman with the pava, the straw hat, saying,
Qué rico es el latino. Hoy se ve!
and interestingly enough, he starts by setting the precedent that all of this is going to be in Spanish because he says Benito Antonio Martínez Ocasio, his full government name, presents el espectáculo de medio tiempo del Supertazón, the spectacle of the halftime of the Super Bowl, all in Spanish. And if you look at the backdrop, you will see the sugarcane plantations, which in Puerto Rico were the backbone of the island's colonial economy, heavily dependent on enslaved African labor, particularly during the 19th century sugar boom. In the very next frames, we see Bad Bunny turned around before he reveals himself, and he's wearing a 64 on his football jersey. 64 was the number the Trump administration gave out as the number of people who died after Hurricane Maria, but the actual death toll by that time was actually 1,052. Then we see Bad Bunny walk around the sugarcane plantation, showing us very historical and cultural markers of Puerto Rican culture, like for example, the coconut stand, which historically coconuts provided subsistence for Puerto Rican workers and were considered a vital tree of life for supplying water, food, and oil. The abundance of coconut palms allowed them to become a staple for local businesses. Roadside coconut vendors became a staple of Puerto Rican culture, particularly in coastal areas offering fresh, chilled coconuts with the tops cut off. Then he walks by the table of father, uncles, and grandfathers playing dominoes, which in Puerto Rico, dominoes or el dominó is more than just a game. It is a cherished cultural staple, social ritual, and symbol of community that bridges generations together through strategy and storytelling. He then walks by badass Puerto Rican women doing construction, which represents badass Puerto Rican women who shouldn't be underestimated because they also do manual labor like construction, very subversive to the patriarchy. Then he walks by a piragua cart. Now, piraguas are more than just a shaved ice dessert in Puerto Rico. They're actually a cultural icon, a symbol of nostalgia and a staple of island life. Brought to places like New York City during the Great Migration in the 1940s, piraguas symbolized the adaptability and endurance of Puerto Rican culture in new environments. But then we see him walk by a taco cart, but not just any taco cart. This is an actual taco cart in California called the Villas Taco Cart. The business owner, Victor, who started the business out of his grandmother's home kitchen 8 years ago, now has 3 locations around California. And this shows Bad Bunny has a commitment to supporting local small businesses over big corporations. After he visits the taco cart, we do see him ducking under boxers as he continues singing. Often considered one of the best boxing nations pound for pound, Puerto Rico has produced over a dozen Hall of Fame inductees, and in 2004, it became the first territory to have champions in all 17 traditional weight divisions. Boxing is deeply ingrained in society, and it serves as a pathway for and reflection of the island's warrior spirit. Then we see the famous casita that we were introduced to at the residency in Puerto Rico. It serves as a cultural anchor representing home, community, and the Marquesina party culture. The Marquesina is an open-air garage where people meet, greet, and talk for hours all day. And yes, Black Afro-Puerto Rican representation was brought to the forefront at the casita because Black Puerto Ricans very much exist, take up space, and are family, no matter how much white supremacy doesn't like the fucking idea. And the same goes for queer and gay representation. We exist, live, laugh, and our gay joy is also resistance and revolutionary. But then to the melody of Monaco, he tells us that he made it to Super Bowl 60 because he believed in himself. And then he reminds you, believe in yourself, because you will be able to achieve everything you want in life if you do so. From there, we go to the actual wedding that was real and officiated at the Super Bowl, which is iconic in and within itself, but is really about family and community and love. And then we reveal that Lady Gaga's in the motherfucking building, and not only in the building, but killed it. But this was also a culturally significant moment. Gaga is wearing a light blue dress, which is the correct kind of blue that goes onto the original Puerto Rican flag that people in Puerto Rico were killed and imprisoned for flying after the US passed La Ley de Mordaza, or the gag law of 1948. That light blue represents sovereignty and resistance. The current dark blue flag is supposed to resemble the blue on the American flag in support of furthering the aims of colonization supporting statehood. Gaga also accented her gown with a custom Flor de Maga corsage, official flower of Puerto Rico. After that, Bad Bunny falls back off of the building as a trust fall to signify the bond of trust built on community and familial support that is so integral in Puerto Rican culture, as opposed to the American culture, which is toxically about rugged individualism. He's falling onto his people because he knows they will catch him, because we're all we have, and we are each other's safety net. And yes, that Puerto Rican community is built in and around the bodegas, the mini marts, the mom and pop restaurants, and the Puerto Rican barbershops and salons. At one point, he even gets a shot of coconut rum from a woman named Toñita, who he also has in his music. This is the actual Toñita, who is the owner of Brooklyn's Caribbean Social Club, one of the last surviving Puerto Rican social clubs in the city, and she is an iconic figure in New York, and there is a celebration in her honor every June 22nd. After that, Bad Bunny goes and gives his little boy self-representation, his grown-up self Album of the Year Grammy, and tells himself to always believe in himself, showing little Puerto Rican boys and Latino boys all around the diaspora that they should believe in themselves because they will go to extreme heights. Then he has a Jibaro playing the cuatro, introducing Ricky Martin singing Lo que le pasó a Hawaii from his DTMF album. This instrument, the cuatro, originated in 16th century with the Jibaros, and it is primarily used in música jibara, evoking traditional country life. It is a symbol of Puerto Rican soul, resilience, and identity, often used in folk music and increasingly in modern genres. And then you tie the history of that instrument to Ricky Martin singing Lo que pasó a Hawaii, which is Bad Bunny's song, warning that he doesn't want the US to do to Puerto Rico what they did to Hawaii. The song serves as a political anthem and warning to Puerto Rico, comparing the two islands' shared experiences of colonization, displacement, rampant gentrification, and over-tourism. And he's singing in the scene of Bad Bunny's album cover, which already represents the story of how Puerto Ricans get in community with each other, sitting outside in the famous plastic white chairs, except on the album cover, they're empty. Just like this chair is, because of gentrification and that displacement. And it's actually poetic that Ricky Martin is then interrupted his singing by exploding light posts behind him, with Jibaros trying to fix them. given the fact that Puerto Rico has a continually failing electric grid because the corrupt pro-statehood politicians do nothing about it. And it's interesting that you see the jibaros, the country folk, the common men and women are the ones trying to fix the problems themselves with no help or support from a governmental system. But Bad Bunny doesn't just stay on the ground singing to the camera his song El Apagón, which is really about the consistent blackouts that plague Puerto Rico. Because him on the ground having the Puerto Rican flag and singing directly to the camera demonstrates his world-facing advocacy and him using his platform to bring attention to the issue. But there's a point where he puts the flag down and climbs to the top of the light post himself to demonstrate his commitment to our people. He's saying, I will be in the trenches fixing this and in any one of our problems because we do this together. Community is central to this theme. But then we get to where we started. Bad Bunny looks at the football and he said, God bless America.
God bless America.
And people who know English specifically heard that and said, yes, he's being nationalistic and patriotic because he is American. Yes, stick it to the man. You're Puerto Rican. You're a citizen. But then they didn't hear the part right after that. Because right after he said, God bless America, he said a Spanish word, sea.
God bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina.
Sea is a Spanish word that means be it. So when he said, God bless America, sea, and then lists all the countries located in the continents of the Americas, plural, what he's saying is that when we talk about America, we have to decenter the United States. He begins by listing countries geographically under the equator to the top, from the continent of South America, stops at Mexico, shifts to the Caribbean, then all the way to the top of North America with US and then Canada, framing the Americas in a way that has never been done before in a very subversive and revolutionary way, and then ends by centering Puerto Rico. So what he's saying is that together we are America, including all of the countries historically marginalized and neglected. It was a fuck you to the United States.
Well,
And all I got to say is, someone tell me where I'm wrong. All the people who came at me in my cultural analysis of this, I feel vindicated.
quite vindicated.
And like I said, I wrote my article before seeing that and went back and added it into my article.
Dude, I am with you. I am with you, Katie. I am also rolling my eyes super hard. I mean, just.
And we're supposed to celebrate that. We're supposed to be okay with it as Americans, right? It was a middle finger. It was. And people with common sense knew it. And they want to gaslight you for knowing it. You know? I'm like, no, this is what this is.
Right.
You know, and this whole "we are America," he's not talking, like I said, he's not talking about America. He's talking about the Americas. Like the guy said, we have to decenter the United States.
Yeah. He's talking about.
And I'll tell you what. Yeah. And I'll make a deal with them. Okay. We are all America. But guess what? That just means y'all fall up under us. We can go to Venezuela and snatch up a leader. Because it's the Americas. We're all one, right? Right? We can go do whatever. Let's go down to Brazil and Peru. Let's go do some stuff. Like, if you want to play this game and act like we're not individual sovereign nations, okay. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild.
Yeah, it is. But that's the symbolism and the imagery of the show. And like I said, the whole "we are America" is not a unifying thing. It is a revolutionary statement. It is calling everyone to rise up. It is a call for equity, decentering power of the United States and lifting up the marginalized, oppressed countries, which in reality, they're not marginalized or oppressed. They're just horribly run countries with corrupt leaders, right?
Right.
Puerto Rico has a horrible power grid because they got crappy leadership.
Right.
And they have elections. It's not like they under a dictatorship like Cuba.
Right.
Their own people are electing those leaders. So what are we talking about?
We're not planting leaders there. They elect
No.
They elect their own people.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it's all anti-white, it's anti-colonial. It's all just the leftist Marxist ideology. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And the NFL, in choosing him to be the halftime show, made a political and cultural statement.
Absolutely. Just like the Kendrick Lamar show was a massive political and cultural statement.
Yeah, because not like us, who's not like who? Y'all, white people, ain't like us, black people.
Right.
Y'all ain't like us. It's so divisive.
Incredibly divisive.
Yes.
And a lot of white people didn't even know that that's what Kendrick Lamar was saying. They didn't know.
No,
that's
they
what
were
he
just
was saying.
dancing. And none because some people have tried to argue with me that Bad Bunny is more popular than you think. No. Did you see the stadium? Did you see the stadium? The stadium was completely dead during the performance because no one knew a single song and no one knew what he was saying. It was people just standing there looking.
Bruh.
No one was singing, no one's moving, dancing. It was a dead stadium with this massive performance going on because no one there knew anything.
I saw
He's
I had
not
people
popular.
on my Facebook. I had a couple on my Facebook post themselves dancing to the music to make a statement, basically.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that's what it became. It became a left versus right cultural thing. You're going to pick this side, even though you had no idea who this cat was. You had no idea who this cat was. But because he represents your ideology, you're going to do that. And look, if it was some cat that I had no idea who they were, but they represent my values, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at that, right? If they had picked some unknown person, let's say the NFL did something like this. Let's say the NFL picked some unknown person, a person we ain't never heard of, okay? Some artist we ain't never heard of, but they love America. They you know, it doesn't even have to be country. That's another one of my critiques of the halftime show that the TPS
Turning point. Yes. I agree.
A little too country. You know what I'm saying? It felt a little like, you know, it's like y'all are saying that everything, you know, country music is all American. It's like, come on, guys. Like there's more stuff to that. Y'all could have sent a much better message. Y'all could have won bigger by having some different stuff represented. Some y'all could have won so big if you had hip hop and you had Cuban music. You had people doing Latino music, but Cubans who like love America because they escaped communism. Like have some like America loving Cubans up there. Like, dude, come on, man. Like dude, that would have been the biggest. That would have been the biggest like right cross to this leftist nonsense.
I think they were just too busy trying to put on a show with the biggest names they could. You know.
I feel like they were trying to send a message though. They were trying to go as like old, you know, like you know, Americana, not even like Americana, like straight up country music, like, you know, that they could to make sure they made the biggest contrast.
Americana would have been good if they had went through like decades of different artists. That would have been cool.
Would have been so dope.
Yeah,
would have been so dope. But yeah, like the whole we're gonna do this thing, and we're gonna basically tell you that America's bad and America doesn't get to be its own country, and America, you know, all that stuff. Like this whole, like if we had somebody, like I said, if we had somebody who was unknown, who came across as loving America, I got no problem with it. It's not the fact that he was unknown. That's not the problem I have. The problem that I have is the message. It's absolutely the message all day long.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, man. If it's so great everywhere else, then stop fighting to come over here. Stay over there. If it's so great and y'all just love it so much and it means so much to you, because even when they protest here, they have, you know, Mexican flags and stuff. I'm like, well, then go back. What are you protesting if? Yeah. Yeah,
Here's-
it makes no sense.
if
Go
I
ahead.
can, the mentality is, oh, America has opportunity, and they look at it as America has opportunity because America has power, and that therefore means that they took that from somebody else, and it belongs to everybody. It's still a Marxist mentality, which is based on a covetous mentality. It's absolutely
It
based
is.
on a covetous mentality.
Their collectivism holds them back.
Right.
It just does.
It does.
Because it was someone, and they were talking about basically in collectivist cultures, if someone starts to do well, it's not celebrated, right?
Right.
It's viewed as if, oh, you must be doing something wrong. You must be ripping people off. You must be taking advantage of somebody. And so there's this you're disincentivized from achieving and seeking excellence and doing well. Like, you're not going to get the next Steve Jobs out of that culture. The culture itself holds itself back.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. And that's not a race. I've heard people who from the UK talk about that. The UK has a very similar culture to where people who are really ambitious are now in the US. Because
it's the same way across Europe. It's not just the UK. So it's across all of Europe. They have the same culture. They have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and they talk about how Americans celebrate success.
Yep.
And they cheer you on. And then other people want to help you have success, right? So the community is not rugged individualism. People will help you out if they see potential in you. People will help you out if they see you grinding and like,
that's right.
You have a friend who is from outside the country who has fallen in love with America because of the business opportunity, the mindset that is here. Right. And not just that, but the willingness of others to reach out and help, right? And he's just blown away by that.
Right.
When I was doing real estate investing, the people who just kind of brought me in and say, "Hey, come on the team." It was just people in America is the collective together mindset. It's just different. It is a collectivist mindset, but no one's going to do it for you and no one's going to give you anything. But if you're willing to work, people will come alongside you and help you. That's what America is. But no, you're not going to sit in your whatever, your rice paddy field or grass field or sugarcane field and sing songs on your guitar and think that somebody's going to come by and drop money in your lap.
That's right.
That's just not going to happen.
And you know what is great. You know what is great about this mentality that the collectivists will poo-poo the meritocracy, right? But you know what the underlying assumption of the meritocracy is? You can.
Yeah.
We believe you can.
Yeah.
We believe that you are capable. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what country you came from. We believe that you can. And if you are willing to work for it, we want to help you. But if you're entitled, that is an affront. That is an affront to the biblical principle of working hard in order to make your bread, in order to get your bread. And there will be a resistance. If you don't want to work for it, there will be a resistance to that. And Karl Marx hated that. He absolutely hated that. That is the birth of Marxism. He hated the idea that it was not respected to sit around and just expect that you were going to be able to have stuff and to live life.
I just want to sit around and just do philosophy and think of things, and I shouldn't have to go to work and put a roof over my head. I should just be able to just sit around and philosophize if I choose to. And except for this system that makes me work for bread,
I mean that is also why Marxism is decidedly anti-Christian. It's decidedly anti-Christian because the Bible will not abide the principles. It will not abide the mentality. It speaks directly against that. He who will not work will not eat.
Don't eat. And so that's the worldview issues. And I went further on into I don't know if you saw the video this week of that Democrat politician from Texas, the representative. I think his name is Eugene Wu. And pull up his
one right
tweet.
here? All right, yeah, let's look at this.
The day, I always tell people, the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this. I always tell people the day.
Dude, that is evil. That is an evil statement right there.
That is a elected state representative in Texas.
That is awful.
That is Marxism.
Straight up.
And at the same time, let me say this. They make my job harder because how do I go to the white Christian nationalists? I'm like, no, don't be that way. Don't think when this guy is saying it.
That's right. That's right. The white Christian nationalist exists because of this cat.
Yes.
Racism was about dead in the 90s, man. Racism was about dead in the 90s.
But this whole revolution, this idea that we're going to outnumber you, this idea that we're going to flood the country with immigrants to outnumber you and all, like, people aren't stupid. Just like people aren't stupid about why Bad Bunny was chosen.
That's right.
People, we get it. The mask is off. We can stop playing the charade. You know, people can stop trying to tell me, no, it wasn't about that. Stop playing with me.
That's exactly right.
Like,
don't play as the black ladies like to say. Stop playing in my face.
Yes.
Stop playing. Stop
pissing on my head and telling me it's raining.
Right.
All right.
Right.
No, that's what they're doing. So let's play the last video in the article, the last clip. So this was in Spain, and I don't know if I think it's not in English. It's subtitles, but you can just kind of narrate or summarize what this lady's saying. She's a Spanish politician.
Quiero pedirles a las personas migrantes y racializadas que por favor no nos dejen solas con tanto facha. Y claro.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so she's saying the migrants don't
and racialized people.
Racialized people don't leave us with so many right wingers. So she's saying, like, don't leave migrants. And when they say migrants, okay, what they mean is illegal immigrants. When they say that, that's what they mean.
Yeah.
And of
course we do want them to vote.
Oh my goodness. And of course we do want them to vote.
So what they did was in Spain, it's like between 500 and 800,000 migrants, they just basically made citizens. Right? And so it's replacement theory. And she's going to even say it. Yeah.
Claro que sí, hemos conseguido papeles, regularización ya, y ahora vamos a por la nacionalidad o a cambiar la ley para que puedan votar, por supuesto.
Replacement theory.
Oh, snap. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not even. And so how do you go to the Christian white nationalists and say, hey, replacement theory isn't a thing? Like, these leftist revolutionaries are saying it. And I say, I know this is in Spain, but it doesn't matter where you are. It's the same ideology, right? So you look at the Eugene Wu guy in Texas, he has the same ideology as this lady. So why is America and Western Europe being flooded with migrants and immigrants? This is why, right? This is why. And this is why Bad Bunny was chosen for the Super Bowl halftime show. It's all connected. It's all related. It's all a cultural moment and movement. It is.
Ojalá podamos barrer de fachas y de racistas este país con gente migrante, con gente trabajadora. Claro que yo quiero que haya reemplazo de fachas, reemplazo de racistas, reemplazo de vividores y que lo podamos hacer con la gente trabajadora de este país, tenga el color de la piel que tenga, sea.
Look at that. The working people of this country.
People.
Marxism. Marxism.
Yep.
That's proletariat. Proletariat.
Vamos a hacer con la
I think
gente
she says the word
trabajadora de este
comrade.
país,
Come on.
tenga el color de la piel que tenga, sea china, negra, marrona, con todas compañeras, las gentes
Comrades.
trabajadoras de
There it is,
All
comrades.
comrades, the working people of this country.
Proletariat.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Marxism. Straight up.
Yeah. And so I know people think like, oh, that's all Kevin talk about. That's all Kevin. That's the lens. He sees the world. It's not. I'm telling you, I'm just examining the culture and I'm telling you the worldview in which these people are operating in and what's going on. Like Minneapolis, they're not protecting immigrants because they just want to protect and take care of immigrants. They have their own reasonings behind it. And yes, they want them to vote. Yes, they want them to be, because no one's illegal. We're all neighbors. We're all the same.
Right.
The citizens should give up their power to the marginalized, to the undocumented, person. And yeah, they should have voting rights as well for all.
Wow, dude.
Voting rights for all.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. They are trying to replace, you could say right wing, you could say white. They are trying to replace American voters with non-American voters.
Right.
Right. If you hold, and it's like, it's not about skin color. That's what gets me about the Christian, nationalists, white Christian nationalists, is they're too focused on the skin color.
That's right.
They just want anyone who holds to what we call traditional American values, anyone who holds to, I'm going to use this word, even though it's controversial, a Judeo-Christian worldview, right? They want you out, or they want you outnumbered, right? Because they're trying to bring about the revolution, to bring about the whole Marxist utopia and the communist revolution and socialism and the erasing of private property and the taking over the means of production. And that's what they want to do for the working people, right? The revolution, but it's just so dumb because it doesn't work. It doesn't work no matter where they try it. But look at her face. Look how passionate she is about this. She's passionate about something that doesn't work. It's never worked. It's killed, hundreds of millions of people. And yet she gets to, they all get to do it benefiting from capitalism.
Right. As the great Margaret Thatcher said, socialism's great until you run out of other people's money.
Yep. Oh, man. So that is the Super Bowl in a nutshell. That's Bad Bunny. That's why he was chosen. I stand by my analysis, my cultural analysis. It's all about decentering power, whether that's white, whether that's just the United States, whatever, is decentering the norms to center those who are marginalized, who are on the edges.
Right. I mean, look.
That's what it is.
Look at Billie Eilish, right? Everybody knows Billie Eilish recently got dragged, which is absolutely hilarious because she, was out there talking about, F ICE and nobody's illegal on stolen land or something.
Hey, keep talking. Go full screen. I'm going to switch back to my computer because my phone is not going to last the rest of the show.
Roger that.
All right.
So Billie Eilish out here talking about F ICE and nobody is illegal on stolen land and stuff like that. And she got dragged, because her house sits on the ancestral land of the Tongva tribe. And they actually said that it is a fact that Billie Eilish's house is sitting on our land, and we have contacted her and she's not responded. That's right. And it's this whole idea that America is bad because it's successful. Like, that's literally what it comes down to. America's bad because it's successful. Anybody who has power is bad. And when you look at Billie Eilish, think about this. Billie Eilish is rich. Billie Eilish is rich. She recently, there was another award that she recently got. I'd say within the last 6 months. She got another award. And she said to the room, there are people, I think basically it was like, there are people in here who have more money than me, maybe I guess there were some billionaires in the room or something. And she was like, maybe don't be a something, and basically saying like, give away some of your money. And I'm like, okay, Billie Eilish, you first. You first. It's this stupid mentality that whoever has more money than me is bad. Bernie Sanders out here lecturing everybody about being so terrible. Give away one of your houses, Bernie. I'm poorer than you. Give me one of your houses. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can't. That's why I can't deal. That's why I can't deal with these folk. That's why I can't deal with these folk, because they want to act like everybody who has more money than them is evil. I could do the same thing to you, Billie Eilish. Give me some of your money. Tax
the rich is always means tax someone with more money than me.
That's right. Tax people who have more money than me, but don't tax me because I'm somehow in the oppressed class. Get out of here with this stuff. Get out of here.
Yeah. It's all envy, man. Envy and jealousy and covetousness. That's all it is. So it's just sin. It's heart. It's a heart of sin. And so, but you're right, man. That's all it is. That is all it is. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the Super Bowl halftime show. I think we've nailed it. We've laid it out. We've fleshed it out. Like I was saying, I stand by my analysis. I do.
I think your analysis is spot on. Thank you for finding the video where the gentleman breaks down every single piece of symbolism in there. Clearly, the NFL really liked all of the subliminal, symbolic messages of the Kendrick Lamar show and wanted something like that again. Either that or he really thought that was awesome and wanted to do it himself. But that's 2 years in a row now that we have had these anti-American messages.
Yep. And they're still singing the Black National Anthem. Let's not forget that.
Oh my gosh,
dude. I'm telling you, man, they're trying to push division. They're trying to decenter whiteness. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. And I'm just like, listen, man, listen. As I said in the Facebook group, I don't need my own national anthem. I'm an American. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with the Star Spangled Banner. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have. To me, there's no such thing as a black national anthem, right? Like, like if you're black and you want to have a different national anthem, you need to really think about the implications of what you're saying. You're saying you're your own nation.
Yeah, and that's really what they want.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. I believe that's what the majority of black people want. Because I've made this point before, maybe not on the show, but just over the years of when we talk about why do black people struggle so much with identity and the past, and it's because we never got even. And what I mean by that is, how did we get our freedom? It was a Civil War fought, and we got emancipated. We didn't.
White people fought that war.
The Juneteenth symbol with the black fist is so stupid because there was no resistance. There was no revolution. White people fought against white people for our freedom and then granted it to us. Said, hey, you're free. That's what happened.
That's right.
We didn't have a revolt like Haiti. We didn't, take over and become and run our own nation. And so the fact that we've never become our own people, we've never ran our own nation, there's still this longing of identity and home.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of Black people, they always feel like they're living in someone else's nation. That's what we're dealing with.
You're exactly right. That is exactly what it is. And I don't know, man. It's really hard for me to connect with that. It's really hard for me to connect with that because I'm just like I've witnessed that. It's like, all right, they're saying this is majority white country is white people's country, all that stuff. I'm like, first of all, race essentialism, unbiblical. Second of all, and yes, America was guilty of it at one point. But what I've experienced is white people have been accepting of me, that they judge me based on my values.
Yeah. Yeah.
They judge me based on my values. Yeah. My values are Christian values. Even before I was a Christian. That, I actually caught more flack from Black folks than I did from white folks.
I'm just gonna lay it out. We don't have anything as a culture to be proud of.
Dang. You gonna have to explain that? I don't know. I don't say that. All right, go ahead. Put the point.
We dribble basketballs. We run footballs. We've got the civil rights movement. But okay, I'm gonna go to this city, and I'm gonna go to the Black side of town. What does it look like? What do we have as a community that is saying we built this? This is ours, and it's great. It's something that other people want to come and experience and be a part of. I went to Dallas a couple years ago, and I was like, hold up. Man, I've been to Dallas several times. And I was like, man, hold up. Nothing's in English? What is this? And that's when my buddy, he's like, oh, man, this is the Korean side of town. This is Koreatown. Like, it was brand new buildings, like nice restaurants. They had their own banks. It was like, oh, snap. He's like, yeah, the Koreans came in here and just did it up. Where's the Black side of town that's like that? Go to any city in America, go to the Black side of town, and it's a ghetto. And it doesn't mean that Black people individually doesn't have anything, but where we collect, where we gather, we don't have anything that we've built as a culture, as a people. We just don't. We have music and entertainment, and that's what we put our stake in. But we don't have, and the fact that we're cool and everyone wants to be like us, we set culture. That's it.
I will say you okay. So you did point out that individuals definitely have made contributions. There are a lot of inventions that came from Black people that have benefited America and the world. So that's like the interstate highway system invented by a Black man, right? We got George Washington Carver. There are a lot of things. You're right. I do think that there was a time. I think there was a time when Black culture did have things to be proud of.
Yes,
and I think that died off in the '60s.
It did.
I think 100%. It died off in the '60s.
If we had kept on that trajectory, yes, things today would have looked differently.
Absolutely.
But we gave that trajectory up for social justice and begging.
Yeah.
Right. And we, as Chad Jackson likes to say, we went from a trying people to a crying people. Right.
Yeah.
We went from let's build to let's cry and whine. Right. And to get our way and get power. And we've been doing that ever since. And what has happened to our families, what has happened to our communities, what has happened. And so I'm just saying all that to say, like, Black people today, when we start talking about, like, what do we have as a people collectively to be proud of as a culture and a people, is all sports and entertainment. That's all it is. We haven't built anything. Even our HBCUs, right? People have this cult pride in it, but it don't compare to,
right.
Let's be honest. There's no Harvard.
Right.
There's no athletically. There's no Duke basketball, and it's just It's just not as good.
And here's what I will argue. As long as we try to make it about being black, it won't be.
I agree.
I want to give an example to show that this is not about bashing black people. Japan was a backwoods country before they stopped being isolationist. Japan was a backwoods country.
Yeah.
And now we joke all the time that Japan is technologically 30 years ahead of everybody else, right? Like, we joke all the time about that. But it was because they stopped being isolationist. And I think that there's two lessons here, and they may seem contradictory, okay? One is that there was a point where black people were building, black people were owning, right? Prior to the civil rights movement, we were building things, we were owning things, et cetera. And you see older black folks talk about that, how we had our own bus lines, we had our own restaurants, we had our own banks, we had we had that stuff, right?
Because we didn't have a choice.
We didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because there was real oppression back then. There was real oppression. There was real marginalization because we could not go to a white bank and get a loan. You couldn't do it. And so, or at least it was largely unheard of. And there was a pride that, the way we used to dress back then, the way we used to speak, the way we used to carry ourselves, there was excellence. There was a striving for excellence. There was a reverence for the God of the Bible. And so I'm not saying that everybody was a Christian, but there was a far more of a reverence for
the culture in the community was driven by a very, very strong, heavy Christian ethic.
Yeah, 100%.
It just was.
It was.
Yeah.
And
we had higher marriage rates than whites in the 30s and 40s.
We did.
Thomas
Sowell talks about how when the slaves were emancipated, the men would walk miles and miles and miles looking for their families.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the picture. That's not the picture that you get today. That's not the picture that you get.
No.
And like you look at, so when I say that, there's like when we decided we had to do for ourselves, we were doing. But I will say that that was not even the core. The core was a belief in a Christian ethic and worldview was what drove that. We abandoned that in the 60s. And we saw the family fall apart. We saw black neighborhoods therefore fall apart, et cetera. I think that there's an issue there because I don't think that we were seeking to have black only spaces. I think that if all of a sudden there was an opportunity, and I'd say opportunity, but if all of a sudden people weren't just like, oh yeah, like we're good with integration, we wouldn't tell white people they couldn't come in our restaurants. We wouldn't do that.
This is what people don't talk about. Black people were also okay with segregation.
Right. There was that. And I'm not saying I'm okay
Black people weren't
segregation.
Black people were not sitting around going, man, I really want to go over there with the white people. Like, they were happy and content in their communities, with their doctors, with their lives, right? The push for integration was everyone fighting for civil rights wasn't fighting for integration. Integration was a separate thing that was added onto civil rights, right? Because that's what some people believe was best. And that's when that guy was on the Breakfast Club talking about what killed their bus lines. He said integration did, right? Because, like I said, when we were forced to ourselves to build our own, to be self-sufficient people, we were. But the minute you start integrating, the minute you start closing black schools and busing kids across the counter to be in a white school because you got to integrate, you just killed everything.
I think
You
forced
killed
integration
everything.
was a problem. I think
forced
forced
integration. That's what I
integration
mean.
was a problem. Yeah, I
That's
think
what I'm talking
that, I
about,
think that
forced
integration is a good thing, but forced integration is not a good thing.
It killed
and-
everything.
Yeah,
And so, so that's what I'm saying. And it had to be forced. And it wasn't just
Yeah.
forced on one end; it was forced on both ends.
yeah, and I
Um,
think that you're right. I think that killed a lot of black businesses, and black people were not unified on that issue. I think that integration ultimately is a good thing because I think is biblical to not judge people based on their race. But I think that forced integration did not have the effect that they wanted, and that's why I also think that to Martin Luther King Jr. Integration wasn't enough. You needed the redistribution of wealth as well in order to really achieve the vision that he had. But I think that you look at Japan and you see that they started to advance once they stopped being an isolationist nation. And I think that the same can be said. If you're going to try to segregate based on race, it's going to hold you back. It just is. You try to segregate based on nationality, it's going to hold you back. I think that forcing people to commingle doesn't make any sense. But purposefully segregating yourself off is going to hold you back. And so I ultimately think that we have to have the attitude that we're just going to push to be excellent. We're not pushing for black spaces. We're not going to be like the white Christian nationalists who want to separate off and just have white only cities and all of that stuff. We are going to say we're going to be excellent. We're not going to force people to do anything, but we are going to focus on being excellent. And I think that you will have an alignment, a unification of people if we can come together on values. And that's the rub, right? Like that's the real sticking point, is that we are not going to have unification unless we have unification on values. And I think that was more possible back then when there was a shared Christian ethic. I think it was more possible back in the day when we had a shared Christian value system, because you could actually agree on what right and wrong is. There are certain things that we can align on because they come from an objective source that says that we're equal, right? And I think that if you're going to continue to try to make these distinctions and separate people based on quote unquote race, which is really ethnicity, race is not really a thing. If you're going to continue to do that, then you're never gonna live up to your potential, because you're essentially working against God. And that's the issue that I think that we're gonna run into. We see these people who want black only spaces. You got woke right, people, white nationalist people, the Kenists who want America to just be a white nation. All that stuff. It's gonna wind up not being what it could be. And I think America is special. I think America is special because it's based on an idea. It's not based on blood and soil, right? As the Germans would say a long, long time ago. I think that America is special because it's based on an idea, and the more that America realizes that idea, that's the reason that America is able to be number one on the world stage. And if we forget that, which I feel like we are, if we continue to forget that, then we're going to decline.
Yeah, it is about that, because if it was about slavery, then Brazil would be the wealthiest nation in the world today.
Thank you. Everybody who says America was built on slavery, cap. Stop the cap.
Yeah, 5% of 5% of slaves from the transatlantic slave trade came to what we call the United States.
Right.
5%. Like most went to like Brazil and Peru, and yeah.
And that's one of the things I actually had a conversation with a friend this past weekend because, it's not American. It's being told by Black Americans that America was built on slavery. And he said that. I mean, I just had a visceral reaction to that. I'm like, they're lying to you. They don't even most of them, they don't even know that they're lying because that's the narrative that's pushed down. That's what they're told. They believe that because that's what they're told. Just like people in the South, white folks in the South who are told that the Confederate flag just represents Southern heritage. No, it doesn't. The Confederates literally wrote that it represented the defending of slavery.
What are you talking about, man? I grew up with the Dukes of Hazzard, man. It's the South.
States' rights. I mean, look, I'm just saying, like, if you're a white person and you grew up in the South and you were told that the Confederate flag just represented Southern heritage, you were lied to. Just like the Black people who were told that America was built on the backs of slaves were lied to, you were also lied to. The Confederates themselves said that the Confederacy was about defending slavery. Sorry.
Yes.
That is what the Confederate flag represented. Despite what your relatives told you. Sorry.
No, you're right. But we went down this rabbit hole because I was just trying to explain the mindset and mentality of, sadly, a lot of Black people and why that mentality exists and why it's this sense of homelessness. And so for instance, I'll give an example. Mexico, Puerto Rico, for example. What language do they speak?
Spanish.
Because they were territories of Spain.
Right.
That's not a native language. That is the language of the oppressor. But what do they find in? They are prideful in their Spanish.
Correct.
Right? It's a different mentality because they got to rule and be their own people. Right? Black people in America have never had that.
Right.
Right? And so what do we take pride in from a national standpoint?
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm just trying to explain the mindset and the mentality and why it's a struggle and why we as a people struggle with identity and feeling red, white, and blue. And this isn't everybody. I mean, you see behind me, I'm as red, white, and blue as I don't struggle with that. I'm just explaining why Black people in general tend to struggle with a sense of identity and a sense of home.
Yeah.
You're right. Because the narrative has always been we're in someone else's country.
Yeah.
Trying to be accepted as equals.
Right.
Right.
And you know what's crazy? When I love my country, I appreciate the opportunities provided for me in my country, the freedom that I'm afforded in my country, and I share the values, I have found that I am very well accepted.
Yeah.
I'm very well accepted. And you know what the problem is? What the problem is for a lot of Black folks today is they've been sold a bill of goods and they feel like doing that is selling out and forgiving the sins of the past or letting them slide, because we should forgive. Yeah. We should forgive. They feel like it's acting like it didn't happen. And that's why the whole social justice movement is not about justice. It's not about justice. It's about getting even. That's what it's about.
Yeah. 100%.
And they don't feel like, oh, no, we can't ever be Americans until we get even.
Yeah. Because like I said, we didn't, there was no revolution where we gained our freedom. We don't have that marker when we can say, we could plant the flag and be like, yeah, that was it. And no, we don't.
Right.
Yeah. And so Wakanda is the dream.
Right.
It just is. That is what, put like this, after slavery, after the Civil War, if they had a given the South, let's say Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, is called Blackistan, right? That is kind of what they wish. Like we just had our own country and nation to be a people.
Yeah.
Right. And so the fact that never happened, some people struggle with an identity crisis.
Yeah.
And then they tried to go back to Africa. That didn't work out because they realized very quickly they were not African.
Nope.
Right. They realized very quickly they were American.
That's right.
And so even going back to Africa wasn't like, oh, I'm home. Because they weren't. Nope. They were culturally nothing like the Africans.
Nope. I mean, I lived in another country, and I was not black. Black wasn't a thing. I was American. We looked the same, but I was not one of them. I was an American.
Yeah. So that is why Black Americans seem to be struggling even today with identity.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think that's very accurate. I think that's well said, man. And I really do think that until people let go, really of the lie that you know that they're oppressed and they somehow got to get even for their ancestors, until they let that go, and that's why I say that it's Christianity that's going to unite us, because that is an anti-Christian idea. The idea that you got to get even, the Bible specifically speaks against that.
Yeah.
Vengeance belongs to God. The wrath of man does not work the righteousness of God.
Yeah. And our ancestors used to have that mentality. My grandmother had that mentality.
That's right.
Right? That I learned it from. And we gave it up for social justice and revolution.
That's right.
Which we still has never come.
The desires of the flesh. The flesh wants revenge.
Yeah. But Matt said, is that why his black friends took so much pride in the Black Panther movie? Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. It was a vision of what could be.
Yep. That's right.
I talked earlier about how collectivist cultures just they just don't succeed. They keep people down. That is what's wrong with Africa. That is what's wrong with a lot of the black community.
Yeah.
Because when the colonial forces either moved out of Africa or whether black people in America, got fully free or whatever you want to call it, there was this sense of, probably this, we were wooed by other forces, right?
Yeah.
That saw an opportunity. Yeah. And so in Africa, when these countries got their independence, they didn't say, hey, let's be like our colonial people, let's be like them. They said, no, we're not going to be like them. And so they became very collectivist. They went the Marxist route. They went the socialist route. They went state-controlled industry. Nigeria is the largest country, most populous country in Africa. It has oil, and at the same time, it is poor. Why? Because the oil is nationalized.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Same thing with Venezuela. Look what happened to Venezuela. They nationalized it. And what happened?
Yeah. Yeah. And so they don't take advantage of capitalism, because when they got their independence, they all went the socialist route, because that's that was the revolutionary spirit to kick out the colonizers. And when they got wooed by the Soviet Union, and they all went this leftist Marxist route.
Yep.
And now they want to blame their problems today on colonialism. It's like, no, the problem isn't colonialism. The problem is you chose to go socialist.
Yep.
And this is what's wrong with the black community today. We went Marxist because that's who wooed us, because they viewed us as an opportunity.
That's right.
But we still blaming capitalism and whiteness and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And you saw the Bad Bunny stuff. It's collectivism. It is revolution. It is socialism. It is decentering. It's the same stuff, and it just leads to the same mediocrity and failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just does.
It does. And we continue to blame it on other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the leaders won't admit that they're the problem.
Can't do that. Can't do the problem.
know?
Always has to be out there. The problem is always
Yes.
out there. It's never in here.
Yes.
Problem's never in here. You know, like
And they make it to where you can't say anything because right now, as someone said earlier, like, oh, Kevin lost his black card.
yep.
Right?
Oh,
They
yeah.
make it to where you can't say anything.
You can't say that junk. Yeah. I mean, so
can't say
yeah,
it.
that's one thing. That's one thing. Yeah. So all of our white folks in the audience understand, like we lost our black card a long time ago. Like we the things that we're saying, that those things you immediately lose your black card.
Yeah, man. It was probably around 2004, man. I went to swipe it. I was trying to get some wings, and it was like declined.
Yep.
I
Try to show it to get into cookout. Couldn't get into cookout. You know what I'm
Couldn't get
saying?
in. Couldn't get in.
And I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not even trying to get it back. I'm not even trying to get it back.
I'm gonna tell a story. I had only lived in the hood, and it's a short story. But I had a buddy. He had a rim shop, and we used to hang out at the rim shop. This when I was in college, and we used to hang out in there. Played GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, and we just used to hang out in the rim shop. And customers would come in, buy rims. They put the rims on the back of the shop. It was, and it was just hood. And I had a buddy of mine. He owned the shop, and he told me this. He's like, Kevin, you're the whitest black person I know. And I had only lived in the hood. But what he was describing was the fact that, yeah, I was in the hood and I was hanging out in the hood, but I was a Christian, right? I wasn't cursing. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't involved in the other. And he saw that as me being white because I didn't partake in the culture, right? And so I say that to say, like, this isn't some new revelation or description. It was, and it's all because I was a Christian. I was raised in the church, and I didn't live my life in the way of the culture around me. And so, yeah, even as a 20-year-old young man, I was being told that.
That's wild, dude. I mean, dude, when I came back to the States, I hadn't really been exposed to Southern culture because my parents left the South when I was a baby. And I didn't have a Southern accent. I didn't speak like them. When I came back, I still had Trinidadian accent to an extent. Like, I kind of picked it up when I was there, came back, still had a little bit of that, lost it real fast because it was not cool. Back then it was not cool. Now it would be cool, but back then it was not cool. Lost it as quick as I could. And I mean, dude, like they were like, yo, like, why you talk white? That's what they would say to me. Why you talk white?
Yep.
And I'm like, this is just how my family talks. Like,
people used to tell my mom that. My mom, born Birmingham, Alabama, 1950s, grew up. Yeah. And she said people always tell her, like, why you talk white? My mom was like, I'm just speaking English.
Speaking standard, proper English.
Yes.
Didn't you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the same mentality. It's the same mentality. It's like, oh, wait. Just like capitalism, it's like, no. You speak proper English, that's white. Capitalism, white. Proper English, white. Christianity, white.
Put like this. So we were always poor. No, I've lived in the projects. I grew up poor. My grandmother never had a lot, but I didn't know growing up that she only had an 8th grade education, but she was super smart. I didn't know. Yeah. And when I look back on it, so 8th grade education back then was about the equivalent of going through high school today. Yeah. It was just better.
Yeah.
It was just better back then. And my grandmother had top A1 credit, right? Because she believed in paying her bills, saving her money, put it away. Like, she was just smart with money. Whatever she had was a little, she was smart with it, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but she was, strong Christian woman, raised her family that way. Like I say, my mom, and so it was just like, you go to school, you make good grades. Like, it was certain values that were taught that, got you called white.
Yep.
And it's like, man, I'm just as poor as you. I'm just as, but because I didn't partake in, the street culture, I didn't partake in, you're viewed differently. Yeah. And so that's why I'm like, people need to stop. It's culture, y'all. It is all culture.
100%.
And I tell people, I'm from the old Black culture. I was raised in old Black Christian culture.
Yeah.
This new stuff.
I'm not that. I'm not that. Never been that. I mean, I look at in Chad's stuff, like he shows some of the videos of like the old school Black culture, the men wearing suits, men dressed properly, like the women that, the way that they took pride in their appearance, and those were the kind of things that like, that was the kind of attitude that my mom had, and she's not even from America, but she's West Indian. She's Black, but she's from the West Indies. She's from Trinidad. It was some of that same mentality. So you take pride in your appearance. Like, you don't go out the house looking any kind of way.
Oh, my family growing up, like, you were going to look respectable and decent when you left the house.
Yeah.
Like, there was no such thing. Back then, it wasn't bonnets. It was rollers. You weren't going to leave the house with rollers in your head.
You did not do that. You didn't do that. Yeah. When I see these kids out here walking around, and grown women, I live in Atlanta, man. Well, I used to drive to work, and I see grown women walking around in robes and slippers and bonnets walking to the store.
Yeah.
I cannot.
It's just culture, man. It's just culture.
I can't, dude.
And I can say I grew up in that old culture because, so my grandmother was the mother of the church, right? She led the women's, Sunday school and Bible study. She was the mother of the church. And so I grew up around pastors. Like, pastors would just be at our house. I remember Sunday after church, we're all at grandma's house, and the living room is just full of preachers, full of pastors in suits, talking, wearing suits. Like, I saw that growing up. Yeah. What is depicted today is foreign to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that I didn't see it. It wasn't that. I mean, that's why I love that article I used to talk about, The Codes of the Street, because it details how you had that culture alongside the street culture. Everybody knew those street families, those hood families, right? But they weren't the only ones.
They told you not to be involved in that mess.
Yeah.
That's what my family told me. They said, don't get caught up with them folk.
And so what happens is, family like ours, we do better and we move out because we stayed in school, we became successful. You get to the middle class, you move out. Well, what's left? And that's why I say, like, as Black people, individually, we've done well. But in the places where we call the Black community, what we left behind in the hood was all the street families,
right?
All the hood families. So the hood value and so. Yeah, Black people are doing well, but we're mixed in other communities. We live in the suburbs now,
Yeah.
And so when we look at, okay, I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go back. I still go to the church I grew up in the hood. I drive through there, but I don't stay there.
Right.
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 I drive in there and I go to church and I leave up out of there because I'm not trying to deal with that foolishness. Right. Yeah. And so that's the real. That's the real. But it just, it's hard to say. I wish it was different. I wish we can go back to the Black community and there's like thriving businesses there and people can go there. Like, you go to Chinatown to get Chinese food. You should be able to go to the Black side of town and get soul food, right? Yeah. That's the way it should be.
Right.
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 But you can't because you got to worry about getting shot or robbed.
Yeah. Go on, no MLK. What Chris has said. Chris said that Monique don't allow them, if they in any given city, don't allow them to go on MLK. She said Monique doesn't allow us to go any place that's on MLK Boulevard or a street with a number when it's near an airport.
Yep. But man, it is 9:00. We have got to. Oh man, I tell you what. Well, let's skip what the X and let's just go straight to guess the charge so we can get you out of here.
Okay. All right. Let me get it up. Let me get it up here.
Because that was not expected for us to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, but it was good though. There's some good clips gonna come out of that. but let's go have some fun.
Guess the charge. I'm not even up there.
There he is.
I'm not even up there. I am. All right.
Guess the charge. Oh my gosh, we got some wildness. Listen, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and warn y'all. I'm just gonna warn you right now. Okay, there's a photo that's gonna come up that you are gonna need a chaser. Okay, after you see his photo, so you don't see this dude in your sleep. Okay, I'm just warning you. Okay, it's not the first one you're gonna see, but it's coming. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So those who aren't familiar with Guess the Charge, we're gonna put a mug shot up. And you have to guess what you think this person was charged with. And you got to put it in the chat. So let's go.
Let's go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
All right. What y'all think Keisha did? What y'all think she did? Like, I mean that swoop. That right there.
Look at the swoop. I mean, the hair is laid, man. Look, the hair is laid.
It is laid.
I mean, look at them. I mean, now I will say the thing that I think that she actually should have got arrested for is them falsies, man. Them eyelashes too long, too much. She got arrested for that. She got arrested for that.
Yeah. But that swoop across the eye right there, man.
Yeah. No, the hair is laid, man. The hair is not. She's not looking busted in jail. Okay, she's not looking busted in jail.
Not at all. Not at all. She had to have just left the salon, right?
Straight up.
So we got Matt said resisting arrest after shoplifting. Eden, yep. Keyed her boyfriend car. These are good standard guesses. You would think, that's something she could have been arrested for. Stolen hair and lashes. Hey, that's got to be a felony charge as expensive as hair and lashes are.
Yeah.
Check fraud. These are good guesses. I love the way everybody's thinking, white collar, kind of deal. Nothing check fraud. Because she doesn't like a violent person,
Right.
And so I think people are kind of pegging her right. Grand Theft Auto, okay. I could see her if it's still in the boyfriend's car in an altercation.
I mean that's what it would be. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be like going and carjacking somebody or something. Or stealing a car.
She ain't like an old girl from last week.
No. Yeah, she's not living the thug life, man. That she was living that life. She was about that life. No, she ain't like this. Is that boyfriend cheated on her, and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go take your car, and I'm gonna run that thing into a river or something." Like that. That's
or
what it
or pull a left eye and like burn his house down.
Dang. What passing bad checks at the black hair shop. And then black ladies ain't playing with you. Don't mess with their money. Don't play with their money.
All right. I think we got all our guesses in. I'm gonna read off the list of charges because it's a list.
It's a whole list. It's a whole list.
So everything stems from the very first charge, and it just goes down from there. All right. So DUI, alcohol.
Yep.
Speeding in excess of maximum limits. So she was flying.
Yeah.
Open container of alcohol in the passenger area of the vehicle. First offense of child safety restraint under 6 years old.
So there were children in the car with her.
Endangering child under 14 while DUI. Endangering a child under 14 while DUI. Endangering a child under 14 while DUI. So 3 different charges.
Three. So that's probably 3. That probably means 3 kids were in the car with her.
But it's actually 4 because the first one said first offense, no child safety restraint. Oh, it could be. Yeah, under 6. And then it's 3 endangering the child. So it's probably about 3 kids.
Yeah, it's probably 3 kids.
And then there's another charge for first offense, no child safety restraint under 6.
2 of them were probably under the age of 6.
and
One
didn't
of them
have a
was over
seatbelt
6.
on or anything, and then
Man,
there was
that's
another
terrible.
kid. Yeah,
It's terrible, man.
yeah.
Terrible.
So DUI, speeding, open container of alcohol, all these kids in the car with no restraints, and she just got a list of charges.
Yeah, she got a long rap sheet now.
Yeah,
Man, it's sad. Man.
Yeah.
It's sad.
yeah.
I mean,
Because
hopefully them
really
kids are
really
okay.
what it is one mistake multiplied, right? The mistake was deciding to drive intoxicated, and everything
have
else
the
is
alcohol
just
in the
related
car
to
with you.
yeah. But I'm gonna blame the boyfriend.
It was man. Kev out here talking about what's her bail money. Kev out here
I
talking about
can
what's her
save
bail.
her. I can save her.
I can save her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
What? Yeah.
All right. So all right. So that's
You
that.
ready?
Listen, y'all go ahead and y'all need to go watch some like Looney Tunes after this. But this dude right here, woo! Snap! Oh my gosh, man. Yo.
I mean, he looks like an upstanding gentleman.
Yo, on his chest, I'm sure that tattoo says no regrets, man, but it's spelled with an A.
Yeah.
It's spelled with an A. No regrets.
Hey, I'm pretty sure it was just a misunderstanding.
Bro.
Just he ate someone.
Listen.
Mouth mouth. Oh,
Oh my word. Yo, I'm just saying, you need to watch some Looney Tunes after this. Go watch some Care Bears or something after this. You need a cleanser after this, yo. Like, yeah.
I'm attending a Bad Bunny concert.
Future said she got the puppies queued up. She got the puppies.
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Deidre said meth. Yeah. Rob Bontrager said attend the Bad Bunny concert. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Have you
gosh.
noticed? No one has guessed a crime yet. Everybody's just like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. I warned y'all. I told you. Impersonating Texas Chainsaw Massacre after that.
There are some bodies in the freezer.
Oh snap, man! Is this a mug shot or is he getting ready for his bite wing?
Bite wing X-rays.
Daggone, man! Bodies in the freezer.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh, man! Oh my gosh! Yo,
Man.
I mean, listen. I saw that picture and I had to I was like, oh! I'm like getting the show ready, and I saw that picture. I was like, whoa, what did this guy do?
Like I said,
it
when
had
I
to be
saw it in my
violent.
feed, I was like, oh, I know this is going in the show. Looks like a prison escapee. Yeah. Like, how was he? You do wonder, like, how was he ever not in prison? Like, you know.
Yo,
What
didn't
brand?
malpractice. Oh man,
He committed a hate crime of some sort. It's definitely a hate crime.
yo. Oh my gosh. She said maybe my cousin from the backwoods won't say where. Yo. Oh my gosh.
Man, this guy. Yeah. He's lived a colorful life.
He definitely the crime fits the look. The crime fits the look. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay.
Aggravated battery in there
Aggravated
somewhere.
battery in there somewhere, surely. You win a new car. Go ahead. So go ahead and read them things off.
Fair to
Man.
use a turn signal. Close. All right. So he was involved in a road rage incident where he pulled a gun on somebody. So this was the charges. Said he was criminally charged with 2 felony counts of false imprisonment. So he held somebody at gunpoint or something.
Yeah.
2 felony counts of aggravated assault. There you go. Yeah, with a deadly weapon. There you go. 1 felony count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
So he was already a felon.
He was already a felon. 2 counts of unlawful carry of a concealed weapon.
Wait, so that means he had 2 weapons on him.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah,
two
concealed.
weapons.
2 counts of concealed weapons. Yeah.
Did he have 2 guns on him? Like what? Or did he have like a long
And-
knife or something?
And this is the big one. Driving without a license.
Man, he didn't even have a license. See
Man.
that? So what's the moral of the story, folks? What's the moral of the story? Listen,
Definitely a sovereign citizen.
a sovereign citizen, man. Listen, most of the sovereign citizens that I have seen, okay, most of the sovereign citizens that I've seen on police body cam videos, because the algorithm knows that I love me a good police body cam video, okay? They mostly white ladies. I will say it's like 8-1 white ladies who say they're a sovereign citizen of the earth. They're like, yeah, it's wild.
That's crazy.
But I'm just saying, the moral of the story, especially if you in ATL, okay? Especially if you in ATL. If you in ATL, listen to me. Road rage is not worth it because you might run into this cat.
Yeah.
You might run into him. And he's crazier than you. Look at him. He's crazier than you. I don't
What
care
people
what
don't
you're
realize,
packing.
some people don't have anything to lose.
That's right.
So if that's not you, don't. No.
I'm
Don't be
just saying.
tough, guy.
I'm saying.
Don't. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, no, Matt wrong. Matt wrong. He said he gummed someone to death for his first felony. He wrong. He wrong. No. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Oh,
Yeah,
my gosh.
But this is gold. This is what I look for guess the charge. I look for stuff like this. And the algorithms don't let me down. That's all I can say.
They don't. I mean, the algorithm got. Oh my gosh, Deidre just said talk all of them, Dad. God, talk all of. Oh my gosh, that is runner up for winning the comment section. That is runner up for winning the comment section tonight. Oh my gosh, straight up. Like, I'm just saying, when I saw the image, I was like, okay, don't let me down. When I read the charge, don't let me down. And it lived up. It lived up to it. I mean, the dude is exactly as crazy as he looks. He's exactly as crazy as he looks.
No, it would have been funny if it was like, this mugshot, and then the charge was like failure to pay child support. Like
right. But that's exactly what I was like. Please, listen. Like, if this dude looking like this, it can't be just like failure to pay child support. Like, it can't be that. I was like. And when I looked at it, I was like, okay, all right. Because you know what it does with you, okay? You know what it does? And I know we're not supposed to judge by the flesh, okay? We're supposed to judge righteous judgment, okay? But I'm just saying, when you see a dude like this, you thinking to yourself, that dude will shoot you. He'll cut you. He'll do something. You looking at that dude, and he's like, no, he would not think too much about having to cut you. But when you find out, it's like, nah, man, the dude just he ain't been to the dentist in a while. He just ain't paid the child support. It kind of messes with you a little bit. You're like, my judgment, my radar is messed up. My judgment's messed up,
Look, if you see this dude, you're not wrong for going to the other side of the street. I'm just saying. If you just cross the street, you're not wrong.
That's right. Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Know what? You know what's messed up? You know what Hollywood did? Hollywood told you, if you cross the other side of the street, you wrong. Because you judging the guy, you don't know nothing about him. You wrong. And I'm like, I'll be wrong from the other side of the street. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll be wrong from the other side of the street. Judge me. You can judge me.
I'm an intel analyst. I profile. Just going to be real.
As an intel analyst, okay? As an intel analyst, how often would you say you wrong by profiling?
I think the common sense thing is to profile. And the example I give is, after 9/11, if I'm running security and I'm doing random checks and there's this, 70-year-old black grandmother that comes through the line, and behind her is a 24-year-old Middle Eastern male. Which one do I randomly decide to search?
Randomly.
Right? Randomly. like, should I like, I'm not gonna profile, ma'am. Can you step to the side here?
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
Right.
Like, no, that's just stupid.
And everybody in the line looking at you like, really, bro? Like really though?
Like, I don't profile. I don't judge.
Profile. I'm not prejudiced. Listen, I have been. Look, okay. So I don't know if anybody's noticed. Okay, look at my nose. Okay, look at this nose. Okay, all right. I've been profiled. I have been profiled in security. I've been profiled in security. In the UK. Okay, like the only time I went across the pond, as they say, they had me empty everything out that suitcase, and I'm just like, man, dang nose. It's like, yo, I'm black. You know, it's not what you think it is. I'm black, but my nose, man, because I have Indian in me. Like I have Indian in me. And now, so like
Indian, you mean Native American or
East
you mean
Indian? Well, both.
Dot or feather?
Say what?
Dot or feather? That's
dot.
How you ask.
Mostly dot. It's mostly dot.
Okay.
And so the note, that's where I get the nose from. And so, you know, but like, especially when I have a beard, like, so y'all notice my beard is shorter. That's because I accidentally cut my beard off. I used the wrong guard. And I accidentally cut my beard too short. But what my wife told me, she's like, at least you don't look like Jihad anymore. She's like, you're right, it's too short, but you don't look like Jihad though. And I can guarantee you, if I went through TSA with my super long beard, and I went through TSA, now I have pre-check and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm normally in the US, I don't get stopped like that. But man, as soon as I went out the country, they're like, nope, empty the whole suitcase. We want to see everything in that thing. No, what's in this teddy bear right here? What you got in that thing?
Oh man, that's funny. I actually got the opposite treatment when I went through TSA last time. I got pulled over to the side because I forgot I had a water bottle in my my bag. But this is the thing. They didn't catch the water bottle. What they caught was someone had given me a gift, and it was in a wrapped box. And they was like, what is that? I was like, I don't know what it is. I hadn't opened it yet.
Yeah.
And they basically just let me go. They was like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know what was in it eventually? Are you able to say?
I'm trying to remember. But it wasn't what was setting off the thing. What happened was in the side of, on your book bag, you have like little pockets on the side of the book bag. Yeah, I had stuck a water bottle down in there. And that's what they were seeing on the x-ray was the water bottle. But they started going through the bag and found the gift and thought the gift was what was, setting it off, whatever. And I got to the plane, was like, I got a freaking water bottle. And so not for y'all to lose trust in TSA, but they do miss some stuff, and they let me through. So,
man, I knew. I was like, man, I need to get this dude off the screen. I need to get this dude off the screen.
Man. Yeah, but we do have to get you to bed. But before we do, I want to let everybody know tomorrow I will be doing the Righteous Perspective podcast. So it's a live stream. And so it is 8:30 Central Time, so 9:30 Eastern, the Righteous Perspective. You guys aren't familiar with his channel, go find it on YouTube. He's got like 570-some-thousand subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he basically cover a lot of the same stuff we cover. And so he sent me an email, asked if I would be willing to come on a panel discussion one day. And so tomorrow in the morning, I'll be on. So come check out the Righteous Perspective. I know Future knows because that's who Jay Witt goes on there quite a bit. And so, yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. Don't know what the topic is going to be. Don't know what we're talking about, but he does a good job with kind of like what we do with clips and just really important topics and having the panel weigh in on it. So
Yeah.
Thanks, Future, for posting that. Yeah, go to the link, y'all, and subscribe to Wise's channel. So it's really good stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah. But let's get you to bed, man, because you got to get up and go get that taken care of. Go get your re-up taken care of. So yeah. So have your re-up take you to go get your re-up fixed up.
She gonna be like, you go get that fixed. I'm not giving the rib back. I told her, I was like, this is your fault. I need my rib back.
Oh man. But y'all, we appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for joining us. You guys are the best chat in these YouTube streets. Future, the best mob in these YouTube streets. You guys made what we do fun and worth it. We love it. And we look forward to doing it each and every week because of y'all. And so we hope y'all find value in this. Keep checking it out. Keep tuning in. Until next time, stay informed.
Stay informed, folks. Not that. Hot takes are everywhere, but they're